Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really close look at something that mixes celebrity, big money, and, well, charity. We're talking about W Korea's annual Love Your W breast cancer awareness campaign. Huge event. Big names, luxury brands, all for a good cause. Or so it seems.
Right. But when you start digging into, the internal documents, the sponsorship deals, what actually happened behind the scenes, it gets complicated. We're really asking,
Yeah.
who's paying here, who's benefiting,
Yeah.
and where does breast cancer awareness actually fit into all this?
And honestly, the thing that kicked this whole investigation off, it's just bizarre. It immediately throws up a red flag. I'm talking about actress A at the October 2024 event. She was meant to be on the red carpet, the photo wall.
Yeah, she turns up all dressed, ready to go, and then reportedly she's basically blocked from the main photo area. And significantly, no official full-body photos of her from that event were posted by the magazine later on.
Blocked. Why? I mean, was it the dress? Did she clash with the background? I'm trying to picture this.
No, nothing like that. The sources say it was because she wasn't wearing V-brand stockings. Apparently, there was some kind of sizing issue, so she arrived bare-legged. But her whole look was supposed to be sponsored by Brand V, top to bottom.
Okay, hang on. Stockings. Let's just pause there. What on earth do stockings have to do with breast cancer? Or, preventing it?
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It gets right to the heart of how this event actually works. It's basically a strict trade-off. W Korea puts on this lavish party funded by massive brand sponsorships. We're talking luxury fashion houses paying like 30 million won cash, plus providing clothes they call donations. And in return, W Korea makes sure the celebrities wear those specific items, down to the last detail, like hosiery, and get snapped on the photo wall.
So the celebrities are kind of walking advertisements, high fashion billboards for the sponsors. And if a piece is missing, like the stockings, then the ad isn't complete, so no full exposure.
That's exactly what the sources suggest happened. Actress A was assigned Brand V. No V-brand stockings, no full-body photo op. W Korea's internal rules, it seems, meant appearances missing a sponsored item were basically not allowed for that kind of coverage.
And the proof is there, isn't it? W Korea only posted cropped photos, just upper body shots of her. But then actor B posts a picture on his own social media, a full body shot. And you can clearly see she's bare-legged. It confirms it wasn't an accident or an aesthetic choice. It was about the missing sponsored item. That tells you a lot about priorities right there.
Yeah, it really lays bare the tension between the charity angle and the commercial obligations. And that stocking incident, it's sort of a microcosm of the whole thing. Let's look at the official mission. The invitation letter for the campaign says it's to raise awareness about the dangers of breast cancer and to support its prevention and treatment. It started back in 2006, promoting early detection. Sounds great, right?
Sounds very noble. But then you look at the actual event photos, the setup, and the symbols, the actual symbols of the cause seem to be missing.
It's quite striking when you look at the physical evidence inside the venue. Globally, the pink ribbon is the symbol for breast cancer awareness. You see it everywhere. Marathons, red carpets overseas, fundraising galas.
And at the W Korea party,
Not a pink ribbon in sight.
Hmm.
Nothing. Instead, tables decked out with bottles of Moët and Chandon champagne, surrounded by red roses, apparently to match the champagne's branding. The actual cause felt, visually absent, replaced by alcohol promotion.
which is, well, it's problematic, isn't it? Because major health bodies like the American Cancer Society, the WHO, they explicitly advise limiting or avoiding alcohol to reduce cancer risk.
Exactly. Alcohol, a known carcinogen, was the centerpiece. At a cancer prevention event, it's a direct contradiction. W Korea's VP Lee Haiju reportedly oversaw things, but the magazine apparently offered no comment when asked about this, about the alcohol focus.
Yeah, that silence, it's pretty loud. If the core message is getting lost or you get contradicted by the event itself, you have to ask about the money. Maybe the real purpose was just hardcore fundraising. Let's follow that trail. Let's talk Love Your Emin.
Well, first off, who wasn't benefiting financially? The celebrities. Sources confirmed they attended with no appearance fees. They came for the cause, supposedly. In fact, many ended up paying for their own hair, makeup, maybe even styling costs out of pocket. So they were essentially providing very expensive free labor.
While W Korea was cashing checks from the sponsors.
That's the picture painted by the sources. W Korea was definitely generating revenue, all under this charity umbrella. Luxury fashion houses reportedly paid around 30 million won each. That's, what, over 20,000 US dollars. Jewelry brands kicked in about 5 million won each. You add it all up, there were 29 brands involved: Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Cartier, Prada, Fendi, the list goes on. The total haul for W Korea, just from these sponsorships for the one night, is estimated at nearly 1 billion won. That's around $725,000 USD.
Wow, nearly $1 billion, and that's just the sponsorship fees you mentioned, not counting other things.
Right. That figure doesn't even seem to include the extra revenue from things like integrated product placement in the content they generated. Like, posts featuring a Dyson hairdryer captioned, "Powerful Performance Dryer." That's advertising income on top.
Okay, but hold on. Couldn't you argue? I mean, W Korea is a magazine. Their strength is bringing brands and celebrities together. Isn't getting Chanel and Gucci to write huge checks maybe the only way to raise that kind of serious money for breast cancer research? Is that the justification?
That would be a totally fair argument if the money clearly flowed through to the cause in a proportionate way. But here's the kicker. You compare that nearly 1 billion won potentially collected in one night in 2024 with the total amount the publisher, Doosan Magazine, has publicly stated they've donated to breast cancer causes over the entire 20 years of the campaign.
Okay, what's that number?
About 1.1 billion won over 20 years.
Wait, let me get this straight. They collect almost 1 billion won in sponsorships for one party, but their total donation over 2 decades is only just slightly more than that, like 1.1 billion total.
That's what the numbers suggest. It averages out to roughly 50 million won donated per year.
50 million won a year. That's what, about 36,000 US dollars annually?
Exactly. Compared to potentially collecting $725,000 in sponsorships for just one event, the scale is vastly different.
That is a massive discrepancy. It raises huge questions about allocation, doesn't it? W Korea says they've sponsored screenings for maybe 500 women, but where did that nearly billion won from the brands actually go? The details seem completely opaque.
Which brings us to the party itself. Let's call this section Enjoy Your Pee Party, because it really seemed to be more about the party than the cause. It wasn't just a meet and greet. Celebrities were actively encouraged to toast together, basically becoming walking ads for the Moesh and Shandong. But beyond that, the content W Korea was pushing out using these stars, it often felt completely unrelated to breast cancer, just trivial.
Yeah, I saw some of that on their social media, like interviews asking stars, what are your year-end plans? Or show us your 3 cutest poses. How is that raising awareness about a serious disease? It feels more like content farming for clicks.
And sometimes it crossed the line into just plain inappropriate. The incident with ISPA's Karina got a lot of backlash.
Right, she's asked to do a dance challenge to that song, Sugar on My Tongue.
Yes, and the lyrics. Well, they're quite sexually suggestive. Critics rightly pointed out how jarring and inappropriate that was for a breast cancer awareness campaign. It just seemed to show that getting viral content was maybe more important than respecting the campaign's theme.
And it sounds like the environment for the teams supporting the celebrities wasn't great either, this management lockout thing.
Yeah, that caused a lot of frustration for the agency staff. They reported that these random requests, the cute poses, the dance challenges, often weren't agreed upon beforehand. And worse, managers frequently weren't even allowed into the main event space with their artists, especially during the first part of the evening. Internal documents apparently said no staff accompaniment multiple times. So managers were stuck waiting elsewhere, sometimes for over 6 hours.
Wow, unable to oversee what their artists were being asked to do, especially when they're there for free, for charity. That sounds quite exploitative.
It certainly created a situation where W Korea had essentially unsupervised access to the celebrities to create whatever content they wanted.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Put this W Korea event in context. What does effective, transparent global awareness campaigning actually look like?
Well, typically you see events focus more directly on education or fundraising, where the cause is front and center. Think charity runs, educational forums, health symposiums, lectures. W Korea's party format really stands out, and not necessarily in a good way when compared to others.
Okay, like what? Give us an example. Maybe starting with the U.S. They have big charity galas too.
Right. Look at the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, BCRF, in the U.S. They host a hot pink party. It's glamorous, yes, but a few key differences. 1, the pink ribbon is prominent. 2, and this is crucial, financial transparency is paramount. BCRF publicly shares detailed reports, annual revenue, expenses, donor lists, everything's out there. And their results. Their May 2024 party raised about 15.8 billion won. That's $11.5 million USD. and you know where that money is going.
Okay, so transparency is key there. What about closer to home? Are there better models, even within Korea?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Estee Lauder, for instance, partners with the Korean Cancer Association for their awareness campaigns. Their approach is heavily educational. They might light up buildings pink, sure, but inside it's about learning. They have hands-on zones teaching self-examination, photo booths promoting early detection messages, quizzes, information packets, actual pink ribbon pins for participants. It's instructional.
Instructional, and the atmosphere inside the W Korea party, based on what you found, it was the opposite of instructional.
Completely. While Estee Lauder is teaching self-exams, the W Korea party had music blasting with lyrics like, I want to meet her now, your twin sisters on your chest. Or choreography being performed to songs with lines like, I'm hot, my boob and booty is hot, at a breast cancer event.
That's incredibly tone deaf, so the only real connection to the cause was just slapping a hashtag on the posts.
Pretty much. Posts filled with champagne, suggestive songs, product ads, all dutifully tagged, hashtag breast cancer awareness campaign. But inside that venue, no visible warnings about prevention, no messages of support or solidarity for patients. The focus was relentlessly on the brands, the celebrities, and the content, enforced right down to the mandatory stockings.
So wrapping this up, what does this deep dive really tell us? It looks like a very slick, very expensive marketing machine. One that uses the powerful emotive banner of breast cancer awareness to operate, but where the primary benefits seem to flow to the magazine and its sponsors, not clearly or proportionately to the cause itself.
And that leaves a critical question for you, the listener, as you see these kinds of high-profile charity galas promoted. How should we measure their success? Is it just about the headline figure, the potential $1 billion collected from brands in one night? Or should the real measure be, well, how relevant is the event actually to the cause? How much impact does it demonstrably have? Especially when you see that stark contrast, nearly $1 billion raised from brands for the party versus an average of maybe $36,000 USD actually donated annually to help patients over the years. It makes wonder, doesn't it, when charity becomes this commercialized, what kind of awareness are we really left with?